My target skill was learning how to refinish a table. I wanted to kind of completely transform it and turn it into something brand new. I chose this because I wanted to pick something that was going to stretch me and push me out of my comfort zone. So I kind of combined two things that I don't feel very skilled at, which is being handy or, working with my hands, doing things with tools, and being creative. I don't consider myself a very creative person. So by, kind of tearing it all down, putting it back together and making it how I want it, this was going to give me some new skills and trying some new things and giving me the opportunity to kind of definitely push me out of my comfort zone. Across the 4 weeks, I think I really started out with research. I really looked at a lot of different YouTube videos and things like that, so I could get ideas and kind of have a kind of brief tutorial on how to do these things and where to start. So that was kind of the first part. The second part, I would say, would be like the sanding. The sanding took a lot of time, learning how to use a sander and learning all the different things about different types of sandpaper and when to use them and how to use them. So that was kind of the second part. And then the third part was learning about, the primer and the paint and how you select what you want to get the kind of look that you want, and just trying to combine all of those together to sort of make this table into something that you want. So that is kind of just the brief rundown of what I've been doing over the last 4 weeks and how I've sort of gone from knowing absolutely nothing about refinishing furniture to, at least trying it. When working on this project, I really noticed a lot of kind of ebb and flow with my motivation. I was really interested to kind of go back and look at expectancy theory, where if the probability of success is 0, then motivation will also be 0. So I'm glad that I picked something that I could at least see myself completing. Otherwise, I could see how my motivation would have been really, really low. But I did always have that vision at the end of, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to be able to figure this out and do it. And so that's kind of why my motivation, I think, continued to, increase or at least stay steady. The thing that I was really, really surprised about, though, was how extrinsically motivated I was rather than intrinsically motivated, because I think that knowing that I was going to have this last sort of class to show, what I've learned and be able to bring it to my peers and Dr. McCormick and just be able to say, hey, I did this, that kind of kept me going forward. I do think that if it would have been, just a quick little assignment where you just turn it in and then you're done, I think my motivation probably would have been a lot lower. And then just taking ownership of your project. Since you got to pick it, it's kind of yours, and it really reflects you as a person. So I think that has been something that has motivated me too, is like, hey, this is my table, like I'm doing this, I'm learning this, and just taking that ownership of it. When you get to choose what you are working on, you get to choose something that you care about. I chose this because I recently lost my grandpa, and he was a very handy person and was always very good with working with tools and working with wood and doing all that kind of stuff. So this was kind of a way for me to dig into that side of myself a little bit more. I've just been missing him a lot lately. If students feel like they don't have freedom or they don't have a say, it's harder to work on things because they just feel like they're doing what the teacher says, and there's no freedom in that. I am really loving how it's looking already. I can definitely see the potential. A lot of my students are hands-on, and so I can kind of see that learning by watching or learning by reading is a lot different than learning by doing. And so that was just a very, very clear and obvious part that I took away from this. So I was really happy to have that, and it really does help me see things through a lens of my students, which is always helpful and always good. So it is officially October 1st, and if you've ever seen the movie The Incredibles, when Mr. Incredible is going to his wedding and he keeps saying, "I got time," and he keeps like getting sidetracked and fighting the bad guys even though he's supposed to be doing something much more important. I'm feeling a little bit like that. I'm feeling a little bit like I've got time, but I have a lot to do yet. So I'm kind of getting nervous. One thing that I noticed about myself throughout this project was that I was procrastinating a lot, especially in the beginning. I spent a lot of time just watching, Instagram reels and things like that, and about the project and about redoing furniture and things like that, but not actually starting the project. And that's rare for me. I usually like to get things started right away. I like to get things done early. I don't like to wait until the last minute. So that was new for me. And I think part of it was because I was stepping out of my comfort zone and because this was not something that I do all the time. And so that really helped me see things in a new way, through the eyes of my students, because I do have some procrastinators and I do have some students that just don't have that kind of self-starting, characteristic in them. And so this really kind of helps me put myself in their shoes a little bit. And now I know, like, this is what it feels like to be procrastinating. This is what it feels like to maybe not feel so confident and not feel, strong in your capabilities. And, maybe even a little bit of fear, like not wanting to fail or, learning something new. It can be scary. So this was just a really helpful project for me to be able to see that through their eyes. And, I'm super proud of myself for finishing this. And, I really want to instill that in my students that, hey, it can be scary. It can be hard to start at first, but, once we get to that finish line, like, let's be proud, like, let's pat ourselves on the back, and kind of give them that boost of confidence.